a good thing someone typed commence, or I wouldn't have known to start the stream. Hey, Toulouse. And hey, Leo. So we are going to wrap up this commit from earlier and then just do some random tasks. So this is this move tutorial man in the Fever Dream game. He shows up after you're expected to dash, which means that too much is going on at once. I'd rather have him show up earlier when you're just jumping around. Also, he's now rotated 90 degrees instead of a weird angle. So the text is much more easily legible. On the flip side, I only accounted for English here, added a to-do item into the code to address this later. Okay, cool. Hey, Sinistella. I will pretend that it said you were third. All right, file a task for later to position this correctly. Yeah, sure. I'll just file it now. Position dialog platform correctly. Hey, man. Hey, with voice to text, you could have actually said it. It'd be like I heard you. So in feverdreamgame.tscn, I manually positioned and sized dialog platform. However, in other languages, it may need to be a different size / position. This wasn't the easiest to figure out how to do because the whole dialog is rotated and we probably need to modify the collision shape 2D in addition to dialog platform itself. So I figured I'd just file this task for now. Cool. Great. Done. Done, done, done. What was for lunch? I had a chicken sandwich. And hi, a pretzel. That's not it. I don't know why it's so funny to me that you'd memorize this and then call someone else out and say that's not it. Hey, Kenny. Watch the first few streams. Very high top far it's come. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for just making a world look like a world. Like you can have all the same mechanics, but if all you have are lines drawn for platforms and like a stick figure for a character, it doesn't really look like a game. It needs that coat of paint. I just need to add it to my Espanto config. Then you'll never forget. All right, so put all the farming game state flags in their own class. That way it's not just a bunch of booleans. These are flags that don't need to be saved to a save file because they're just for the current session. Yeah, this is pretty simple to do. In fact, it's all the booleans up here. Booleans. Yeah, it's just this stuff. And this issue, I think, has been fixed. Yeah, it has been fixed. I have a comment in the code about this that we should be able to address. Honestly, I don't really think this is worth doing anything about. Yeah, I want to just do things for the sake of doing them. So I'm just going to say that we deleted a new line. I had originally planned to move some of these booleans to their own file, but I don't think it's worth the effort. All right, so getting into the community center, let's look through some of these other ones. Let's just file some of these things away. You know, I find myself in this state a lot where I want to get things done on the game. Like I want to just tackle some of these tasks, but like I also want to take more of a break. I took a longer than normal lunch break today because I was watching the last episode of The Boys, and it just the episode plus the ads plus me actually just eating lunch took that amount of time. But like I kind of wanted to wait a little bit longer, and now I'm in this state sort of like how I was with the end of Skeleseller, where I'm like, okay, just how do we make the game better? And we just go through these things and prioritize them. I think a lot of these end up taking the back seat for now. We're not nearly toward the end of the game, but yeah, what's going to be the biggest bang for buck here? Anyway, let's keep reading. So we need to make sure there's enough intrigue in the story. Yeah, so this is something we should be asking in the post-checkpoint questions. Is story even here? Yeah, here it is. Is there enough intrigue in the story after you befriend the architect? Concerned that making them less like a villain will lower the stakes of the game. There may need to be something to hold your interest. Maybe it's a plotter. Yeah, okay. They need to pick up the pace for developing games so that they intentionally don't look as polished and we can explore more with mechanics. Yeah, this is another aspect. I don't know. A lot of this is like you learn how to make a game. Like I made Skeleseller and you learn what goes into making Skeleseller. And then some of it translates to other games, but some of it doesn't. And in this particular game, it's like, should we be making, 10 sub games per month and just throwing them at the wall and seeing what sticks? Or should we be developing them with a lot of polish? I feel like polish is so important for this game in terms of just making it feel like each of these worlds was crafted and not just appeared by happenstance. So I'm going to delete this because it's not really actionable. This I really, really want to add. I have this as an idea. This should be like a different story inside this thing. Retired Android, happy 2 years. Thank you very much for the continued support. Yeah. I wanna say like perpetual motion. I had this story idea a while ago about a Zelda-like world where there are dungeons with puzzles in them. Most of these puzzles involve some kind of perpetual motion machine. But you're the only one who ever goes into these dungeons. And you as a character don't think to harness it for infinite energy. It would be cool if there was a struggling civilization that you aided by connecting a generator or something to one of these puzzles so that you could power it for eternity. This could be a sort of interesting like C plot for a part of the game. We could explore more of these self-contained ideas. Remember that this would all be in the context of a video game world. And it's a demonstration of how your character finds the fun in these games. All right. We could even use the parts of the farm RPG tile set that I didn't touch yet. The mines, enemies, etc. Afternoon Goose. I was almost sure it was 2 years, months ago. Oh, well. Yeah, I think, I don't know. Sub timings are always a little bit funny. I haven't usually heard the people have said it seemed like it was a while ago or that you'd already hit that milestone a little while ago. Usually it's like a doubling of a milestone or the timing's a little bit off for one of the given months. All right, updating Yarn Spinner isn't going to affect end users now. This is a set of notes. I'll save that for later. These are like easy afternoon tasks. I think that rider plugin I made, I should probably just delete. It'll probably just be deleted. Maybe tear down the GitHub repo. I don't even remember how to build it. One of the problems is that it sets match case and then wholly breaks regular searching. Yeah. All right, need dialogue in the farming game to specify you need exactly 3. Yeah, this is deleted now. Allow for digging up houses. Should we do this now? This is done. Digging up houses. You'd only be able to dig up the ones in town anyway. We could just detect that you're close enough to one of these collision shapes, I guess. Just add one house to the tile map and then paint it in somewhere. Easy win. So the issue for a lot of this is that the way we detect digging is we detect that you're digging in the center of a tile. So for example, like this grass texture, you need to dig right where the flower is right now for it to dig up the whole grass texture. So we need to probably do the same thing for the house, to the point where what I was thinking of doing is detecting that you use the shovel in the house area, but just in the town. We could test that out quickly and kind of hackily. Oh, I don't really think there's much of a reason to do that, right? I should just do it correctly. Now, if we did hide all of the houses, what does it look like underneath them? It's just blank. So we need to fill that in a little bit. Oh, we don't have to, I guess. Yeah, that could just look like that. Yeah. Let's move the sprite where digging should happen, like the doors at 0, 0. Well, but the thing is, you could dig from over here on the right side or dig from over here on the left side. So we just need to detect that it's anywhere within this boundary, which we already have the collision shape for, so it shouldn't be too bad. At least I don't think so. Look, we made an expensive config. We have no proof of that. You could have just copy pasted for all I know. I want receipts, Matt. Receipts. So on player use shovel, current zone environment, shovel tile. So we can make this virtual and then do something specifically for controlling this. Yeah. And then town environment, public override. So we want to call the base class. Why is this not suitable? Farm environment doesn't call in a base zone. No, it doesn't. Do we even have a base zone in here? No, we don't. Why is this? Why is this here then? Maybe we should call it for the current zone. All right, so this is just public void. This is public override shovel. Yeah. We probably need something else to have happen here. Posted show and tell. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look later. I want to walk up to the door. No. When you shovel any part of the house. Hey, Granny Sith. Prime opportunity to put something weird or funny under at least one of them. Well, what I was originally planning on doing is putting the garbage slime or something under the floorboards of your house. I guess now that we're not doing that, yeah, I should probably put something funny underneath it. Maybe Tutorial Man is under the 5th one and scurries away. That would be kind of funny. I like that idea. Or maybe he's under all of them. Hmm. Yeah. But good idea, Granny said. Chef equals chef slime confirmed. Yeah, he like image manipulates himself into the chef slime. Evaporates. Producer credit. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. 99% of the revenue too. It's only fair. All right, but I still need to code the rest of this. So this is current zone environment, which is a farm environment. We need the base zone. Where is that? Here it is, current zone. Ah, I see. Current zone environment. We get this from the current zone and then use this. Yeah, not the biggest fan of that, but yeah, let's do this. Shovel, tile position. This is the correct way to do this, but this is kind of weird that I'm doing it this way. Most of the time it's going to do literally nothing. But then, yeah, in the town, we're going to have it check for a house. Check to see if you shoveled where a house is. Clipping. Admission of legal responsibility. Can you imagine? I never insinuated. Ah, objection. I have clipped video evidence on Twitch. This man promised 99% revenue sharing. All right, this is not supposed to be a house, though. This is supposed to be the community center, so we can't allow digging that up. In which case, I guess there are only 4 houses. So I should say that this is under the 4th house. How are we going to do this? So we could get a pixel position from the tile position. Wait, no. Do we have a pixel position? No, we only have the tile position. That's stupid, and let's change it. So we'll just turn it into a global position. Yeah, pixel position. All right, now just rename this. Why is this not working? Because town doesn't know that we've changed this. No, it's a vector 2i. I want to be a vector 2. Farm game. No, this is all fine now. Okay, good. Yeah. So for each, we need to get all the houses. I mean, we might as well add all the houses to their own node. Node 2D. All right, but this one, house number 5 is not actually a house. So we got to move these 4 into here. Call this houses. House 5 is actually going to be the community center. Paint the custom data layer. Well, if we just put them all in the house node, I mean, it's pretty similar. They're both pretty low cost. Clip is not out of context. You think Twitch clips have ever been used in a court case? I mean, probably, right? So each house in this case has a static body and a collision shape. We want to check to see if a point is inside of a collision shape. Is there a way to do what I want to do? Did I make a collision? I did. Wow, look at that. Scale shape. Yeah, so I think I want some like, is there a... Shapes don't have a position, right? Collision shape 2D dot position. Oh, it does. Well. So then this should be pretty simple. Yeah. So let's get private node 2D houses node. houses, go through each of those. Node 2D child in houses, get children. And we don't know for sure that they're children of this, but they're a static body 2D in a collision shape. So let's just get the static body 2D. of type. Yeah, this is not the best way of doing this. In fact, we should just save these off originally. Maybe just save off house static body 2Ds. Yeah, I think that's probably better. Enable Y sorting on what node? Oh, the new one? Oh, yeah. Good call. Yeah. Hey, Quantum Blaze. Been over a decade of Twitch. They have a streamer that lives in Northern Ireland who was convicted of murdering his ex, and he was streaming a pre-recorded stream at the time. Wow. Yeah. Man. Well, I guess I was originally thinking of a more lighthearted thought. Yeah. All right, so actually the houses node we don't really care about here. What we care about is the like a list of static body 2D house static bodies. So this is going to be here. And then house static bodies. Hey, perfect. Great. Okay, so now all I have to do is iterate over these. And we don't allocate every single time. That's better. This comment can be here. Wouldn't be that many lighthearted court cases. Yeah, that's true. I guess it was meant to be more of a one-off rhetorical thought. I put a lot into what are the repercussions of asking this thought. So a static body has. Can we like get overlapping bodies or something? No. Yeah, we'd have to get its collision shape from underneath this. Is there a better way of doing this? I guess if we had it be an area 2D instead. We need a static body for the sake of this. I'll just treat it as though there's a collision shape underneath. So yeah, let's do that. In fact, that's what we should probably store then, right? Is the children of these. And then expect that it's a grandparent node. Alternatively, I should just make a house node and some function that knows how to check this. Yeah, that's probably the most sensible thing to do. I'm not going to do that, though. We're going to just do this. Well, should I? Maybe I should. I don't know. I mean, all these houses are the same right now. They don't ever need to be different. Yeah, let's just export this into its own scene. This will be a house. Or like townhouse. Townhouse is actually a concept. House in town is what I'm thinking of. NPC house? Yeah, NPC house is probably best. Because that differentiates it from your house. Okay, now the problem is we need to instantiate a bunch of new houses. So NPC house. We need 3 more of these. That is not a house. There, done. Okay, so put this over there. All right, now we just copy the transforms from these. Copy. And paste. Hey, Xyletics. Happy 5/6 of a year. Haven't had the chance to say welcome back as a work issue after issue lately. Hope things are well. Thank you, and thanks for the sub. And I hope work is easing up because it sounds like things have been really busy. I know Mondays are generally pretty busy for you, but yeah, this is excessively busy. Well, much obliged. You want to dig up only one house? You can export a node in TownScript and attach a house. I assume town gets passed around. I want you to be able to dig up 4 of the houses. Just not this one, because this isn't really a house. This is supposed to be the community center. So that's the only specific part. Okay, so now we can delete these. This. Cool. All right, so we got all our houses. They shouldn't be named house 6 and 7 and whatever. There we go. All right, then the house can have its own script. Source, subgame, farming game. I guess put it in zones, NPC house, sure. Today's on Monday. Today's Wednesday. Oh my God, yeah. Alex always chimes in about work on Monday. My brain is mush. Why does this happen? All right, so collision shape 2D is what I want. Just ignore it. Just ignore it, Adam. No one's going to listen. Doesn't matter. This needs a 2D at the end. And then public bool is like is position inside house. Vector to pixel position. All right, so return collision shape dot. I think it just contains point or something, right? No, there isn't. Oh, shape dot contains point. Did I write something in Scalaseller for contains point? I could have sworn we wrote something like this. Or like a rectangle. I guess it's because it's a rectangle, yeah. Rectangle shape 2D. This casting doesn't need to happen every time. Oh my God, this doesn't have a contains point. Size. There's no position on this now. We have the global position of this though. Godot rect 2. Has point is what it's called. There is no has point though because the shape is just a rectangle shape. So we got to form a rectangle out of this. And we do so with a position and a size. So that and rectangle shape 2D. That. Okay. Has point pixel position. All right. Hooray. Let's try this out. So we want to go through each house in houses, which I'm just messing everything up. So house in get node. There we go. If house dot is position in this house dot queue free. All right, done. Let's try it. Happy middle O day. Hey Magnus, I like how Tina greeted you yesterday. Magnus. All right, skip this. I don't care about any of this stuff. We're gonna go to the farming game and sidekick. So now we should be able to dig up houses. Will it work? Who knows? No. I think the positioning is probably wrong. Let's go take a look and see if this is even being called. Because it might not be. No, it's being called. So we have a shape here. That's correct. We have a global position here. That's probably correct. Yeah, so which house number are we digging in right now? This is house number 2. Where's number 1? Let's go to number 1. You actually probably shouldn't be able to dig up Sidekick's house because then Sidekick won't actually come out of their house. I didn't think about that. I don't know what we should do about that. Should you be able to dig up Sidekick's house? Probably not. Hey, Steven, good afternoon. Check if it has a component for house deletion. Well, we'd still need to get that you're shoveling in the right area. I don't know why this isn't working, though. And I hope we're about to find out. So the rectangle that we have is there, and the pixel position that we have is that. And yeah, this is not accurate because of how rectangles are defined. They're defined from their center points. Man, I never liked this. There's some way to get the extents of a collision shape 2D, and I don't know how you do this. Extents? No. Is it just the collision shapes? Extents? Gotta be a better way to do this, right? Godot check if collision shape 2D contains point. Does it bounce? It it might. Let me see if this is a thing. If it's a rectangle, you could use has point. You need to implement it yourself. I wonder why they don't have this. Yeah, you can get the shape. But then, I mean, and there is a collide here. True if the shape is colliding with another. We can make a point. I don't think it's a good idea, though. Oh, wait, there's a get rectangle here. Interesting. Interesting. I did not know about this. Get rectangle. Wow. All right, let's try that. Is this going to be... This will only work for rectangle shapes, but we have a rectangle shape. Get wrecked, nerd. Brutal, savage, wrecked. All right, here goes nothing. Here goes literally nothing because it's breaking, apparently. Wait, no, what's going on? Hold on, what? I'm not even using the... Oh, was I not pressing the button? No, I am pressing it. It's just not doing anything. No, it is doing something now. Huh, that's strange. I'm pressing the button and it's not using it all the time. Is the button breaking or the game breaking? I think I'm ending up in some animation that doesn't allow me to press the button. Yeah, how did that happen? Huh, strange. Surely they'll fix that tutorial soon. Almost, we're almost there. Yeah, something's messing up when we're up here. Oh, you know why? Probably because it thinks that we're talking to the... Yeah, it thinks we're talking to the NPC. The sidekick is there. You just can't see them. Oh, that's broken. Wait, that's 6. I'm done. I mean, isn't it 4? Bug, you can... Or like attempting to talk to sidekick while they're invisible prevents you from acting. Need to stop that behavior. All right, well, I'm still messing this up, and I still don't know what I'm doing wrong, so let's put a breakpoint here. Maybe it's not using the global rectangle. Let's find out. So here is the rectangle. Yeah, it's not the global rectangle. So if I add in the collision shapes global position, does this fix it? It does. Okay, well, I can't say I like this, but it will probably work. Can you add in... Will this work or will this fail? Oh, no, that seems fine. Okay, let's try it out. Yeah, worth of streams, but don't you have to keep the streak up over the weekend too? Or is that not how that works? All right, so we're going to dig our way over to the house. Hey, we did it. Okay, this is like the greatest feature. Yeah, this is amazing. I love it. It's so goofy. Oh, man. Yeah, so you can't dig up this one because this is not considered a house. Home wrecker achievement. And you can plant crops in the wreckage. So now if we talk to these characters, the sidekick is going to come out of nowhere, right? Yeah, they just appear over there. Should we leave that in a game? I don't think we should. But I think if you can't dig up the houses, then you're not going to try on the other ones, right? It actually would be kind of funny if you dig up Sidekick's house and you trigger completely different dialogue. Like, oh, hey, you just dug up my house. I know for sure that you are like a special character. That's a ton of work though, so we're not doing that. So how about this? Let's just expose a variable here. Export. Wait, this isn't the right kind of house. NPC house. Yeah. Private bool can dig up. Can player dig up. So there. Now that is true. Instance field, can player dig up? Sure, whatever. I don't care. And then here, if the player cannot dig it up, then just return false. There. Now inside the editor, we'll just set that one to false. Okay, so now you can't dig up the sidekick's house. Although another way of doing this is just drag it outside of the houses node. Doesn't really make a difference though. All right, so now let's clean up some of the other code that I have here like this. This should just be a list of houses. Diggable houses. Houses node get children of type NPC house to list. What's the problem here? Can't convert generic list to target type something else. Houses node get children of type NPC house. Oh, because it's supposed to be NPC house. Okay, so now for each house in diggable houses. Cool. Yeah, let's go try that. Turning every now and then, just being confused until they see you talk to the NPCs. No, I think they realize something's amiss when you dig up their house. So yeah, unfortunately now you can't go over here and dig up their house. Maybe once they're no longer in it, you'd be allowed to do it. Yeah, actually that would make more sense. Whoa. Okay, if you try digging up a house twice, it breaks. This has been freed already though. Oh, right. We don't free it from the list. I never tried that the first time. Wait, why didn't that crash? Huh. I feel like that should have crashed before. House.queue free and diggable houses.remove house. This is going to fail because we're inside this thing. House to dig up. Couldn't I just... Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now if house to dig up is not null. There, that'll prevent that from happening. All right, so should we allow you to dig up the house after Sidekick leaves it? I think so. I think it's kind of funny. So we'll call this Sidekick house. Which means NPC house needs this to be a public variable. Can't I just turn it into a field? I want it to be a public setter too. Yeah, and then in town, what's on my clipboard right now? Sidekick's house? Yeah. I need to know once they have left their place. Sidekick intro. Yeah, so if you finish this, then sidekick's house dot can player dig up equals true. So you can get rid of their house after they've left it. And now we just need to go fetch that. Let's try it out. So I fixed a couple of bugs. What do you think about using AI to speed up the work in coding? I personally think it's fine. I think it all depends on what your goals are, though. Like, let's say you're learning how to code. I think using AI to speed it up is probably doing yourself a disservice. And I think if you do it in a bad way, then you could just be creating tech debt for yourself. So yeah, I think it all depends on how you're using it. Oh, wait, no, that's not supposed to be possible. Oh, because I changed the name of the variable. So it reset this back to... No, it just deleted it. Where'd the export thing go? Wait, what? Does this not work? There is no export property here now. Huh. How are you supposed to do this then? Like, if I delete this, it's going to complain. But then the editor will show it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is. But then this complains. Remove field. I think the field is there. No, maybe that doesn't matter. Is it going to still stay there? Oh, it is. Okay, good. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds good. In fact, we actually don't even really need this to be an exported property. We know that it's Sidekick's house. So yeah, let's just stop exporting it. Well, no, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter one way or the other. Okay, let's go test it out. So you should not be able to dig up their house. Good. You should be able to dig up other houses. Good. Can't dig up the community center. And then if we trigger the cutscene, now you can dig up their house. Something so funny about that. I hope there's some streamer who plays this game who wasn't expecting any of this, who's just like cracking up over this stuff. I mean, that's a best case scenario, but yeah. Oh, you can't plant in the upper section here. Interesting. Nice. No one ever tells you to actually harvest these strawberries. So some player might get confused. Also, why is that gray showing at the top? That seems like a problem. Yeah, that definitely seems like a problem. Huh. I'm not sure why that's happening. Expands the ground layer because of the connecting code. Oh, yeah, I think you're right. So digging up here. Wait, no, what? It's only after you trigger this? And then go delete their house? Is it when I planted there? I don't know what caused that to happen. Huh. Might have to reload for it to be visible. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yes, that is true. Interesting. Very interesting. Does that mean that's a problem over here as well? And I just never noticed? It is. Wow. Can you just keep digging up there? No. What if you go downward? Oh yeah, it's a problem here too. Interesting. Yeah, store the initial bounds. Yeah, it's just gonna be annoying. But yeah, I think we got to do that. Bug. We need to store the initial bounds of a map so that you can't dig at the boundaries to extend them. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so you can dig up houses now. I like the idea of Tutorial Man being under one of them, but I don't think anyone's going to find it if they're only under Sidekick's house after you've dug it up. Hmm. How about we just do that later? I mean, that's like an eventual polish task. Yeah. Actually, maybe put it under super polish. Put Tutorial Man underneath Sidekick's house. You can only dig up Sidekick's house after Sidekick leaves it. Tutorial Man should see you, show an exclamation mark, play a sound, and then scurry away at top speed. All right, so let's go check this in. So you can now dig up houses for pretty much no reason. Yeah, this is a lot of work for this, right? Also, getting the shape's rectangle is something we could get just once if we want to. And it doesn't even change. So yeah, let's save that off. Private rect to. This is a value property, right? Yeah. All right, so we can just do this here. There, whoop, what just happened? Delete that. This can just be like that. Yeah. And then we delete some underscores from here and change that to that. Easy. And we can just do it this way. And now it's one line. Hey, that got a lot cleaner. Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is like, okay, this going out of bounds thing. If I never touched this or I never discovered it myself and someone else did, I don't think it's really a problem, right? They would just think, oh, this was intentional. The game looks broken. Gonna get a lot of credit on making bugs. All right, looks good. We could break here. Doesn't really make a difference. It's only gonna search for another like 2 or 3. Okay, looks good. Yeah, everything looks good. Check it all in. Allow digging up houses. You can only dig up Sidekick's house after they've left it. This feature does literally nothing. Oh, man. I feel like I'm going to be typing that a lot. All right, so bug, attempting to talk to Sidekick while they're invisible prevents you from acting. That shouldn't have ever happened, though. Oh, I mean, I guess that's why it's a bug, but this... Yeah, we need to know that you can talk to Sidekick. But there's no way of knowing that here. That's the problem. For making more farmland. Yeah, someone out there's going to plant every possible strawberry. Yeah, so we need to know that it's possible for you to talk to Sidekick here. And where is it? Here. Yeah. So this test, if we just gave the farming game to the player and let them check this, then there wouldn't be a problem. Alternatively, we can pass in a function that lets them check if they can talk to the sidekick. Alternatively, we just don't do anything here. But yeah, I don't like this. Could either be pick upable so you can place them back down after digging them up. Or like they enter your inventory. There's a whole house in your inventory. And you put it down on top of an NPC. There are lots of things you could do that just keep getting zanier and zanier with this. Like, yeah, the idea that it puts it on your hotbar, you put it on another NPC. They're like, oh my God, I always wanted a house. They give you some reward. Yeah. Or yeah, you put down a house, it's a miniature one now. You need to go find a miniature NPC. All right, so how are we going to do this? We could make a function private bool can talk to sidekick and just return this. And then here changes to can talk to sidekick. And then pass this into the player. I don't like this at all. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, I don't like this. I feel like the player should just get the farming game. Wait a second, what? Why? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I should give the player the access to the farming game. Does the player change all the time? It does change all the time. And when we initialize them, which we do initialize them, right? We don't? Oh, man. Or does farming game initialize them? Farming game initializes them. Yeah, so we should just initialize it with this. I feel like I'm cheating. But what are you going to do? Yeah. Whoops. Oh my God. I meant to tap that. There we go. So now we make that function public. Talk to sidekick. And then in farming player, we just check it. Yeah. So now we don't need all these signals that it's kind of bad. Can talk to sidekick. All right. Bug fixed in a very heavy-handed way. Let's go test it. This is the kind of bug that no one would ever even know exists. But yeah, now when you try digging up here, it lets you dig. It's just you're digging underneath the house. Yeah, it's not until you summon sidekick here that you can dig the house out. Take that, homestead. Take that. Someone's gonna do this. Just drill through the whole world and get a kick out of it. Run out for the house. Like 400 achievements in this one game. So fix issue where you could talk to sidekick. We didn't have a check in farmingplayer.cs to see if sidekick could be spoken to. So if you tried using your shovel on his house before he even appeared, it would seemingly do nothing. Fix this in a heavy-handed way by setting a farming game reference inside of farming player. Ideally, we either wouldn't have done that or we wouldn't have a million signals from farming player when we now have access to farming game. But yep, whatever. Small little thing that we're not going to do anything about. So next up, store the initial bounds of a map so you can't dig at the boundaries. Something sets the camera's limit. Here it is. Apply camera limits for current zone. So environment has a get camera bounds. The camera bound needs to be set at ready time and then never again. No, we don't need a null here. So note, this is a what do you call this? I'll just say this is, we store this because you can change the bounds yourself by digging at the edges of the map. Needs to Skeleseller under house. All of Skeletown is modeled in here. We could easily do that. We could just copy the scene over. There's like a staircase and you end up in Skeletown. It would actually be kind of interesting to have a different gameplay out in Skeletown. Like maybe you're there to rob the villagers. So you see a bunch of loot popping out of the portal and them walking all over town and trying to distribute it. And you're supposed to steal from the shops. This game's only going to take 6 years to make. Shouldn't be a problem. Maybe this should just be cache camera rounds. Like, where do we use this? I should save it like this. Okay. So private set. So I'm going to say private void cache camera bounds. Then do this from ready. And then fetch it from over here. That might work. Let's try it. Oh, the camera bounds need to be set up before the invisible boundaries? Or we just call cache camera bounds before that? All right, so here's the real test. If we go dig up here, so we're off the screen right now, and then we leave and come back. Nice, it did not mess up. Same thing with the bottom of the world, I hope. I think we're off the screen, yeah. All right, now I go leave this. Oh wait, we can just carve a path through the right side. You can leave through anywhere. Yeah, nice. All right, that fixed it. So yeah, like I mentioned, nothing ever tells you to sickle up these strawberries. You know that you need strawberries, but you don't know how to harvest them. But I guess you only have so many things you can try, right? You try your axe, you throw it on the ground. You try your watering can, it's not going to pick up strawberries. Your shovel doesn't work, so it's the last tool on your inventory. So it's got to be this. Great. So we didn't end up needing that. Looks good. Cache camera bounds in farming game. You used to be able to dig up the boundaries of a zone, leave the zone, then come back and be able to go one tile farther in the dug up direction. Okay, great. Cool. All right, make a single tile set for every part of the farming game. Change how watering a tile assumes source ID. Do we still have this? Unless we paint some can't dig area. We already have the you can't dig up some layers. If the boundary tiles are inside that layer, no, we don't have something like that. Yeah, because I was going to say the way that the farming game works is we say which layers you can't dig up. And here they are: ground, seed, and water. But everything else you can. We don't have any source ID equals 1. Do we have any source IDs in here? We do. Why is this here? Doesn't this not matter? No, wait, this does matter. But this is for the seed layer? And the seed layer has its own tile set? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't care about that. Is there anything else, though, here? No, everything else looks pretty good. Okay. Manifest sounds in the tile set. Use strings for comparison. We could always cache them. Problem with using ints is they could easily drift from our sound ID. So what? Play step sound is bad right now? Oh, this is what I wanted to do for custom sounds, like walking on stone. I never... Yeah, here was. Yeah. Okay, let's go write that down. Need to add a custom data layer that we consult to figure out which sound to play. Default to grass or something if we don't have a better sound. We may want to use our own, like use a string for comparison, since ints could drift from our enumeration. It's not very important. So make it so you can cheat from the title screen, or that the fade in for the game doesn't take so long. Yeah, I'll just put this in AI tasks. I don't think this is very important for now. Probably allow for going backwards through games. Do buttons make sounds when using a mouse? I didn't look into this, did I? I don't know if people are going to use a mouse for this game. Maybe some people would. So how does it work? Oh, nice. It makes a sound. Makes a sound when you click it because it gives it focus. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. But I'm not going to do anything about that for right now. Need dialogue sounds to work when clicking or activating a button. I think we did this. Add more farming UI. Yeah, so I have an icon here for this. Whoops. Whoops. How do you go to this path? There we go. Where is it? Weather icons? What? Did I mean clock? What? I think it was this. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, I think it was this. Let's just go look at the farm RPG thing. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, there it is. This UI at the upper right. Should we add that to the game? I don't think so. Did they ever actually draw something in there? No, they don't. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to put that in. I'm just going to delete this. Yeah, here it is. I still have to do this. Just for non-functional UI. Yeah. I gotta take a quick break. All right, is it jump time?
It's jump time.
Hello, hello. Close the game. Hey, Nat. Okay, so what else do we have? This part's fine. Yeah, so the step sound, I don't really care about this right now. Save these as resources. Yeah, I'll take care of some of this stuff later. I want to see if there's anything else that's very important that we could do now. Trying to enter town could tell you. We could also have giant arrows pointing at your house and then make your bed glow. Energy meter in the farming game could go negative. Yeah, this is something we should probably do. Hmm. Alternatively, when digging up the house, reveal an image. we're probably not doing this. Effects node to go above this. Yeah, this I want to figure out. But I think the rest of this is kind of fine. Yeah. Now let's take a look at this. And then maybe we do the community center thing. So holding direction after the large fall landing, you enter the falling state. I think the offset difference of the animations would screws this up, and the physics process needs to run for a frame to fix it, but I couldn't figure it out quickly. Yeah, this might not be easy to do. So let's go into this and start in the platformer. And this can be just played normally. Actually, we're never leaving the platformer for this. So when you land and then you hold right, it enters a different animation for a frame. So above the long fall. Yeah, so it's this at the bottom of here. You land, you hold right, and then it enters that like falling animation for just a frame. And I got to figure out why that's happening. Let's put a print out here. G.print is falling plus is falling. Okay. And then there's one other thing I wanted to change. What was it? Oh yeah, make it so that you're not falling for as long. Isn't there a... Where did we do this? I don't remember where. Oh, platform game does it. Yeah. I was searching for 5. Apparently it isn't 5 seconds. Oh, where does this happen? Base platformer game? Yeah, there it is. No, wait, that's not it. But it's in here. Yeah, so we play the wind sound. And then platform long fall duration, 5 seconds. Okay, set this to just 0.5. Because I don't want to wait forever for this. All right, so now turn on the sound. So is falling is true for what, the entire fall? And then it never flips back on to, oh, maybe it was just still true. Oh, maybe that's the issue. Let's take a look at that again. So we're falling, we're falling, we're falling. Then we land. And it's not until you've fully gotten back up that it's set to falls. Velocity y is greater than 0 and you're not grounded. Something's wrong. Maybe you're not considered grounded when you're there. I need to go like frame by frame and find out though. What is it called? Large fall landing and large fall landing right. Large fall landing. Here it is. And then prevent movement. So this sets you into a certain state, which is done here. Wait, this isn't even the landing animation. Oh, it is. But this is done before you hit the bottom. Wouldn't you still be falling for this though? I almost want to slow down the game and find out what's happening here. Yeah, I want to slow it down. Okay, let's see if we can do this. So this is what makes you land. And then we wait a little bit, create the architect realm, which sets you into the falling animation. And then wait a little bit and then play the spooky music. All right, so let's slow this down here. Engine.timescale equals 0.5. So we'll be at half speed because I don't know what's happening here. And I need to find out. Yeah, you're considered to be falling for that entire time. What? Yeah, what? Is grounded is false then? Is on floor, so is on floor must be false. So we could just do that same thing. I don't know if you can do it a second time. Let's try it. This might break everything. And then I just want to pause it. I don't think it's gonna work. All right, let me pause it as soon as I hit the ground. There, okay. So we're paused, and I would like to see, actually let's pause here. Oh, their physics process doesn't even run? Oh, because player input is disabled. Well, 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 well. Well, well, well. Okay, so then this is not hard to change, I think. Is falling is just our own like personal variable here. So we just need to do set animation large fall. Yeah, is falling equals false. That might be it. That might just fix everything. It's still going to run at half speed when you're landing. But let's go try it out. Oops. I am so glad for these cheats, though. All right, so we're just going to hold right. I think that was fine. I should try at full speed. I'm gonna try holding left now. There's one extra sound that's playing, and I don't know what that sound is. Is it the sound of you getting up? If I don't do anything, does it make a sound? It does. And it also shifted them all the way to the left. That's a problem. Oh, man. All right, well, this is not good. Let's turn this off. It made you move, which plays a sound. Something's going wrong, and I don't know exactly what it is. Okay, maybe it thinks that we're falling for just like a second. That is possible, and I think I know how we fix that. I didn't see the jump this time, so let's just see what happens. So true, 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 false. You already shouldn't be in the falling state. It's just not printing anything out because your physics process isn't running anymore. The only thing I could think is that the large fall landing is... Why is this not working? Is putting you at a Y coordinate that doesn't play nice. thinks you're landing. So like her foot is right below here. And then for idle, it's also right below. Getting grounded plays the same sound. I think that's the landing sound. I don't actually know. Like, yeah, maybe you enter the landing state for just a second. Land. No, land doesn't play a sound. I don't remember a lot of this. Land on grass. Oh, was grounded probably just also needs to be set to false or true or whatever. I don't know. Is grounded equals... Oh, is falling. Wait, we set this to false here. Hold on a second. Where's the code I added? Set animation to large fall. Oh, I see. We never changed it for the player. So is falling and was grounded probably needs to be changed too. Was grounded equals true. That might work. This is probably not the best way to do things. But if it fixes it, then I don't probably care. Yeah. All right, so let's hear it. It should only play the thunk sound. Yes. It's working. Okay, I think it's fixed. Let's hold right now and see what happens. Yeah. And now let's hold left. Perfect. Oh, that was tough. Trailing comma, new line, that's all fine. Although actually, if I'm not really changing this file, we probably shouldn't check in even this. So let's just revert that. All right, cheat state, this doesn't matter. Flow control flags doesn't matter. So it's just this. And we should have just changed one line in here, right? Yeah, but it modified some other ones with, well, this shouldn't stay in there, but it modified some other ones with a new line and a trailing comma. That's fine. Okay. So fix bug with the large fall landing. You were still considered to be falling during it since physics process wouldn't really run. So after landing, if you held a direction, you would be in the wrong animation. Regardless, it was also playing the landing sound after you stood up. Fixed both of these issues. Ooh-wee. Okay, cool. Yeah, that one was a little bit tough. All right, so let's just play the game from the beginning and see where we stand now. This should say title screen. So I'm just going to say fix trailing commas in flow control flags. And let's push all this because I made a lot of changes. All right. So we're just going to see what stands out. I'm going to try to put myself in the mindset of a new player. And I'm going to ignore all the like obviously bad stuff like poor settings, theming. This doesn't matter. But yeah, it says very early working version. Nothing about the title screen strikes me as like particularly bad other than the lack of theming. That's functional. You need a logo and everything. Yeah, we added this little safety platform over here. I kind of want those diamonds to be higher up. Like, it's natural to jump that high. Yeah. All right. As long as we're being nitpicky, I might as well do this stuff, right? So open up the platformer game and go find those diamonds. These. Because this one, you jump up to here and then dash. So these should be up a little bit. Use local space. Is this already? No, it's not. It's not snapping. Well, aren't these all at a certain Y position anyway? Yeah, I think we can just subtract 16 a few times, maybe. Yeah, so minus 48. That looks pretty good. Minus 48. Minus 48. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Oh, let's go back into the game. I don't need to test that change. Okay. We should probably darken this area. I do think that'd be cool. Oh, that, yeah, I like that a lot too. Oh, when throwing the axe, we should probably change the Z index. So you throw it over everything. I didn't think about that. Thrown axe. We should probably just change the entire throw item thing to be at a Z index of 1. All right, let's back up for a bit. Go back to here, start in the farming game. Yeah, there. Also, hi, Dungus. All right, now we got to go back into this. I do this so often that I should probably make a shortcut for it. Maybe just pressing pause and then pressing in the left stick. Yeah, that should probably do it. Pressing the left stick in on the settings or on the pause menu should probably unmute audio and full screen the game, since I do it very often. Only watched development of this game for a few minutes. Yeah. Still, I like how this intro is going so far. I've said this before, but there's probably like 10 minutes of gameplay for the regular person right now. All right, so yeah, so we can answer all these things, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Great, don't care. So now throwing the axe in front of the tree, or really in front of anything. Like if I try throwing it over here. Oh, but it's still gonna have a Z index of 1, right? So now if you push it, it's always gonna show on top of everything. Maybe that's a good thing. Let me go around this. No, I don't know. Yeah, it should probably go back to a Z index of 0 when it lands. Where is it? The thrown axe itself has a script, so I guess we'll just go look at that. And when it lands is here. Z index equals 0. right, I'll try one more time. I think it should be better. I definitely want to do that other change I mentioned. All right, let's speed this up. Cut out the dialogue, go back to here, and then try throwing this. Yeah, that looks good. Now it's not always on top, so I can hide behind these trees. It's down there, can't really see it. This is part of what's going to lead to your whole fever dream thing. It's more cohesive than it seems. Yeah, being able to run is pretty nice. This is like the fastest way to drain your energy. Running and planting seed. All right, let's go to sleep. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Because now you're not like, oh, what's the jump button? You know what the jump button is because you know how to jump. All right, pretty good. So we can try to collect all of these. It's a little annoying because you can't dash all that easily. There we go there. Very slightly stuttering. Should probably look into allocations and everything. That's the most likely cause. Have I gotten all the strawberries? I think all of them but the ones at the very end. Oh yeah, and we threw the axe so we don't have it in this game. No. I messed up. Okay, well, whatever. I could have gotten another like 5 strawberries. It's funny about this game. Yeah, darkening the architect's realm, I think would be a pretty nice change to make. Having flickering lights or something. Yeah, whoa. So these are the only 2 townsfolk. In fact, I don't think I should add any other ones. I think it should just be these 2. So like this whole town just exists for them. And, you know, digging up houses and stuff. Faster way to do this. Huh. All right, anyway. Let's go over, talk to those NPCs. Actually, we should probably have a strawberry. Feels way more bouncy. No, this is the running animation. This is the walking animation. When you throw your axe, you can now run. You can go double the speed. It'd be funny if you could throw all of your tools and just keep moving faster and faster and faster. cool. Looks like they're tiptoeing around. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the animations in this asset pack. The artwork in general is nice, but yeah, the animations aren't as nice. If you sickle on the edge of the field and leave before strawberries reach you, you can't move that fast. Yeah, I even doubled the speed and you still can't move that fast. Wait a second, what? What just happened? Hold on. Did I change that? I didn't mean to change that. Oh, it probably pops up. Okay, never mind. Take the key. Take the key. Now for the real task. Dig up their house. So the building's not locked, just to be clear. The inside has unlocked doors. But you'll never know because you can't go inside. I like the farming music. I think it gets a little bit kind of lazy right now, but feels like it's a hot summer day. Hey, noob. Yeah, you need house seeds. We gotta get those. I wonder if I should literally write in this scene, there's nothing up here. Actually, we should just leave that in the game. Just a label saying there's nothing up here. It's not like you can go anywhere. Can't even dig here. Is this causing exceptions? How do I even find... What is going on right now? There we go. Yeah, no, it's not causing exceptions. It's just not doing anything. We should probably just delete this. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the biggest changes that I want to make, this one for sure. I think this could be kind of interesting. Dark in the Architect's Realm. And then block off the northern path in town with a dialogue. And what else? Oh, make it so that, yeah, this. Okay, well, let's go do this next bit. So what did I do in here? Yeah, thrown axe now has a Z index of 1. Let's check that in. And the, what is this stuff? Oh, move some diamonds. Yeah. Modify Z index of thrown axe. It now shows in front of things while it's in the air. And then I didn't actually test this one. Oh, let's go test it. I just moved some diamonds around. So we'll go into the platformer game. And the diamonds I moved are after this vertical section. So you press R here, you press R here. Yeah, that feels a lot better. Now you naturally get them when you're just trying to move fast. You don't have to like stop and do something different. I wonder how many of these you could get. Oh, you get quite a lot of them. You can't get all of them. I don't think you can get that final one, maybe. And you definitely can't get the ones after the barrier. There's an invisible barrier right there. All right, move diamonds in platformer. I put them in a more natural path after you learn how to dash. Okay, cool. So left stick. We don't even have a left stick shortcut. So project settings. I don't know what we call this. It's kind of some like debug function. So add new action, like UI contextual debug. Yeah, add. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, and maybe make it be F11 or the left stick. There we go. Now we save that and we go into Godot string names and find UI cancel, sure. And put and put a UI contextual debug. So when you press this on the pause menu, I want to do a couple of things. And maybe we check if you're on a debug build. And feature flags dot is debug. So I want to unmute audio. Maybe this should just work on the title screen. No, that's fine. Unmute audio. How do we do that? Unmute. Mute toggle. Here it is. Unmute toggled. Here it is. So we're going to set bus mute to false. And then I also wanted to full screen the game. Where's that? Full screen. Window mode selected. Set mode to 2. Full screen. Window mode full screen. Okay, that's it. Let's try it out. Oh, technically that's supposed to be there too. And actually also probably we should just close the window at that point so we can do all these things. Yeah, let's try that. Because I do this so frequently that I want there to be a shortcut for it. So now I can press the start button, which is plus on a Switch controller. I can press plus and then the left stick, and it unmutes and full screens it and closes the dialog. It's amazing. Yeah. Cool. We should make a function out of that because it's not going to be obvious why I did that. Private void, set common debug settings. Set common debug settings. When testing the game on stream, I like to enable audio and full screen the game, but I don't want that to be the default when opening the project every single time. Okay, let's go check all that in. Add shortcut to unmute and full screen. This is F11 or the left stick when on the pause menu. Pause screen. All right, darken the architect's realm, add in some glow. So we have the office. The office already has a canvas modulator over the whole thing, and it's dark. I wanted to do this. This might be difficult, but canvas modulate. So if I just set this to like pink, whoa. Actually, that'd be kind of neat. Not pink, but like a dark blue color. Like this. Maybe not. Is it? Well, let's add in some light now so we can actually see. Light, point light. All right, texture, quick load, neutral. All right, so here's one of our lights. If we were to put this, let's say like where your character lands. Is it obvious that it's a blue? No, I don't think it's obvious that it's blue. Actually, do we want a blue tint? Maybe that was just a cool idea in my mind. But I don't think it looks that good in practice. Out of curiosity, what if I chose like a greener tint? That's kind of neat. Huh. Yeah, so what I was thinking is we add in a whole bunch of lights just kind of throughout, and maybe they're different intensities. This is probably too much of an effect here. Yeah, so I probably need to make these a lot brighter or stronger or whatever. I don't know what I want. If I set the energy to max, it's going to look like it's washed out. But if I set the scale bigger, yeah, so like this maybe, what does height do? Maybe we lower the energy and increase the size. Yeah, so something like that. I want there to be an obvious light source, though. I don't think this particular thing had a light source, did it? Oh, what's that? What is that? Indeed. It looks like a light source. Yeah, although it's not really obvious what it is. I think it's just literally a light source. I don't think it's a lantern or anything. Put some red ones on the dots. The dots. Oh, these? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I kind of want some like obvious hanging lanterns or something, or maybe they sway a little bit and move the lights. I think that would look really cool in here. Because it's not obvious what's creating the light. A thirsty drink, phosphorescent mineral. Yeah. I think to the players, it's going to be like, oh, something's making light somewhere. Oh, I turned this off. That's why it's not doing anything. Okay, so how about we make them all look like this? At least this size. I'm going to try this, and I want to see how it feels. Does it seem like it adds something, or does it just subtract? So let's go play this. More I think, the more this is such a great idea. Some banking the game is both on brand and remove some of the burden of the last 20% of polish. It takes so much time. Well, I think there's going to be more polish in this game than it seems. So change the platformer game. Let's do this too. And let's go to here. So you fall down. Okay, wait a second. That didn't seem right. I think it lagged in creating the scene. Yeah, I think it lagged a little bit. Might need to create the scene ahead of time. And then just position it. Could also just be something weird with full screening it. I'll just play it normally. No, it seems like is it lagging? No. Something seemed funky. No, it's gotta like start darkening the screen before then. I think it's just a little too green. But this does look a lot better. We gotta lighten a little bit of this too. Like you can't see half of what's going on here. Yeah, I'm happy now. Thanks, Sarah. All right, so like this is a level of lightness I think you should have. And the green, I'm not a huge fan of. So maybe instead of, or we make it like even darker green. So it's not obvious that it was green to begin with. So now the lights, we could increase the scale a little bit, 3.5. And then add in some stronger lights for where you're supposed to go exactly. Like if we duplicate one of these and put this over here. Oh, actually, even just putting a second light would probably work. Oh, this one can be lower energy. Yeah. And it could be even wider. Well, at this point, can't we just add in an ambient light or something? Directional light. Yeah, so here we go. So we could just lower this down to like that, maybe. And then we don't need this one anymore. I think it's still on the green side of things. So if I just make it black, yeah, now there's no tint to it. All right, as long as we're just trying some things here, let's try red for a little bit. I guess red does add some, like an ominous effect to it. I don't know. Actually, that's not too bad. Okay, let's try that. Problem is, as you're falling, it's got to get darker. The whole screen kind of has to get darker. Hey, Basharas. Dark gray green. I tried a green at first. I didn't like it as much. I kind of want to try this for a bit. So how are we going to do this? We need the fall to have a canvas modulate. And then for directional light to like slowly turn on. I think this needs to be ominous, but when you befriend the architect, I was thinking of having it be spooky music at first, and then they like turn on the lights, and it's just normal office, and it immediately changes to very chipper music. We call it chipper tunes. Okay, so yeah, we need the canvas modulate to exist beforehand. Wherever we create the architect's realm. What calls this? Create architect realm. This is right before you land, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's 1 second before you land. So before that point, we probably want to add in a canvas modulate. And it just gets darker and darker. Let's try this. I think we just add one in directly. Canvas modulate. New. Color equals colors dot black. Add child canvas modulate. And then we also want the directional light that gets weaker and weaker. Maybe it's this directional light and its energy starts at 1 and it just slowly fades out. That could work. But then we need the directional light in the parent, which means you won't be able to tell what this is supposed to be set to. All right, well, this is, I don't know, it's kind of weird how I'm doing this. But yeah, let's try it. Let's just see if the effect works. Directional light equals new. So the energy on this is fine. What was all that stuff set to? Because everything that we had here was pretty much good. Yeah, it's just energy set to 1. And I think it's set to 1 by default anyway, but let's just customize it here. So there we go. Now we add that to the scene. And then over the course of time, we're going to tween that through all of these. How will we do that? Long fall duration. Yeah, here. Tween dot parallel. Tween dot tween property. Directional lights energy should go down to 0.1, let's say, over the course of the same long fall. Why is this in cheat state? Oh, because we set it to 1? Interesting. I didn't know we did that. That's kind of cool. Ragtime version. You think I am composer extraordinaire over here? All right, let's try this. Let's see. Well, yes, I do. Aw, shucks. Thanks. Whoa, that's not what I expected. I guess because the clear color is there. I didn't even think about that. We need to change the clear color of the entire game. Or we need to render something where you're falling, which would take a lot of tiles. Or it's a static background, like it's a parallax that gets darker. Honestly, a repeatable parallax background would help in selling that you're falling. This is blowing out of control. I don't want to spend this amount of time on this. But yeah, it's darkening just the character right now. Yeah. How do I want to do this? I think parallax is the right answer, and it's just going to be a problem with positioning everything. It's not super easy to do this. And we have to make a new scene that has this set up too. Because the effect was like mostly there. It's just darkening the character, like I said. So if we fall through here, you'll see the character get darker until they finally land. Well, I guess it's less obvious when they're not even on the screen. And then you get here and it's pretty dark. Oh, you know where the light source could be? It could just be from the back. Like the parallax is covering it up. But yeah, this is way too dark. Probably shouldn't go down to 0.1, maybe 0.25 or something. All right, whatever. Let's try this out. I'll just go make a new scene. And we'll call this like parallax falling background. Add in a parallax layer. Type parallax 2D. What's the difference between parallax layer and parallax 2D? Deprecated, use 2D. Okay, sure. Okay, then we need a tile set. The tile set should still look like the platformer. Platformer. Here. And it's just got to look like whatever those walls are. Where are the walls? Here. Yeah. You're falling through the terrain. So honestly, it could look like any of this. Yeah, we could even just pick this background. As long as it darkens, it doesn't really matter. All right, so let's just copy paste this into that new scene. Now we want to delete almost all of it. Before I do that, actually, let's do this. What is going on? There it goes. It just takes a long time. All right, so our terrain that we're going to use is this thing. We don't need the eraser. I just want this to look like something here. So that's good enough for now. Now, what do we do for the parallax thing here? Scroll offset. I need this to repeat. For sure needed to repeat. So let's set it to 200 by 200. Yeah, sure. Good enough for right now. Don't really care. Repeat times. Can I just set this to 0? I want this to be infinite. Because you fall for a very long time. Platforms in the terrain tab, so it's easier to put them in. Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, I see. Here we go. Oh, yeah, neat. I saw that get put in. Nice. I didn't even think to do that. That's a good idea. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe we just set repeat to quite a lot. There's auto scroll. I don't want that. Wait, do we need this? I'm not certain how this would work. Let's say this as, yeah, parallax falling background. And then just go instantiate this into the platformer game and try this out. So it's there right now. If I just put that in the game, what happens? Do we even see it? I don't see it. Wait, did I just jump? Oh, this thing's happening again. Oh, I see. I'm like actually hitting the side of this and then moving. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's happening. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I do not see this anywhere in the world. It's supposed to be visible on screen. Maybe it's over there because it's not set to repeat yet. No. Maybe it's beneath everything. Ordering z index 1. I still don't see it. I wonder if it's the scrolling thing that we need to change. Let's say editable children and set repeat to 100. Do we see it now? We do see it now. And it feels like it got very laggy. I don't think it likes when you do that. Nope, I don't think so. Yeah, so we set it to 5. Does it get less laggy? Oh yeah, immediate improvement. Okay, so you can't just set it to infinite repeat. I want it to infinitely repeat though. Ignore camera scroll. Where is it now? It's like stuck where it is. Hmm. I can't move this at all. I can't move it even with this off. Wow. Why not? Follow viewport. Yeah, I gotta figure out how this is supposed to work. I want it to not. Zero stops the objects completely. Let's set this to 0 then. I think I'm trying to do a couple of different things at once, and I'm not doing a good job. Yeah. I just need some like solid background that can be tinted here, even though the character is moving throughout space. Let's go look at the Godot parallax documentation. Is there a way to infinite? There is a way to infinite repeat. Bonus effect that gives textures the illusion of repeating infinitely. Repeat size tells the node to snap its position forward or back when the camera scrolls by the set value. This effect is achieved by adding a single repeat to all the child canvas items offset by the value. Okay. This sounds like what I want. Yeah, it sounds like there's a way to do this and I'm just not doing it correctly. Let me read this again. Place each node or nodes you want to have scroll independently as a child of your own parallax node. Make sure the top left of the texture's user at 0, 0 crossing like the image. Okay. So this should be at 0, 0. It is. And parallax 2D is moved, which maybe we shouldn't do that. Yeah. And then this thing can be moved. It's what you already did. No, I changed the repeat number. I don't think we're supposed to change the repeat number. I think we're just supposed to use repeat size and then the engine figures it out. Weird thing is I'm not getting this to show up at all now. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, let's keep reading this. And this isn't transformed, is it? This one is, but that's fine. Unless maybe it's not. Maybe this is supposed to be 0, 0 as well. And that's my problem. I don't know. Ah, that did it. Now we can't see anything, which is kind of what I wanted. Because now we can put that in the background. If we put it here, for example, you would see it instead of the sky. What's going on? Oh, it's got collision. That's what's going on. So you're colliding with it. I don't want it to have collision. There we go. Okay, so it's not replacing the sky. I think because I accidentally set the... Not accidentally, I purposely did this. There, that should fix it. All right, nice. So yeah, this is what I wanted to have happen because now when you fall down, now you'll see the whole background tint, I hope. Yes, perfect. So it gets darker until you land. Man, okay, so it's good. It's not great. And to make this more convincing, we'd probably have to change quite a lot. Because there's no connective tissue to the architect realm. But yeah, it is a little bit more convincing at least. So if we want to make it even better, we go into the scene and we turn off repeat, I guess. It looks like it's repeating. It's doing something weird here. What if I revert this? Yeah, there we go. So I got to set this to the actual size of this, whatever this is. And it is 80 minus 48. What am I doing? Oh, minus 32. Should be 448. Is that right? Let's try that. 448. Hey, nice. Perfect. Okay, by what is this? Well, we have the ruler for this. I guess we could just click this, right? 384. So now that should tile in infinitely. Yeah. So if I restart this now, that's what we'll see in the background all over the place. Yeah, but it is not scrolling with the camera. So I want it to... I want to not make this editable anymore. And then this, I think we say, what, ignore camera scroll? Is that correct? Now it's not going infinite. Man. How are you supposed to do that? I don't understand. Oh, because I have the scroll scale set. Oh, right. So we gotta set this to like 0.9 or something. There, now it should move. Yeah. and you're seeing that weird glitch as it kind of like catches up, which probably means I set the wrong size somewhere. They've got a whole bunch of things about what you're supposed to be doing for this. All right. Yep. Infinite repeat size. Effect is used to achieve a single repeat. We got that. All right, so poor sizing. Infinite repeat effect is easiest to work with when you have an image designed to repeat seamlessly. If you aren't able to obtain assets for that, blah, blah, blah. Yep. It doesn't scroll properly because the original texture doesn't cover the viewport. If you set repeat size to the size of the viewport, we have a large gap. What can we do? So either make the viewport smaller or scale parallax 2D. So we need our... We could just scale this. Sure. That's fine. Scale it to like 4x. Should be okay, right? So now we should see... Yep, that's exactly it. Nice. It's too big, but it's doing what I expect it to do, at least, which we're not seeing seams anymore. So now when you fall down, you'll get some sense of how much you're falling by because you'll see those seams pass by really quickly and then they'll darken. And what we need to do is eventually stop or like transition into a different parallax that is just darkness. And that's what's difficult about this. The way we could accomplish that is, oh man, this is so tricky. We could do like what they did in old games where you have an underwater music, and it would actually be that two tracks are playing at the same time, and you fade one out and then fade the other one in. We could have two parallax backgrounds, one that has some sense of movement, like this grass. Why is this not working? Yeah, this like grassy section here, and then another one that is just pure darkness. And we just transition between the two. It might be obvious that it's happening though. Yeah. Also, I think the best way to do this would be to change the terrain so that it's just the dark tiles here. And very, very rarely... Oh, that's not how you do that. I don't want it to be a terrain. I want it to just be a tile. And then very, very rarely we have one extra tile. So like this... And maybe, where's the other side of this? So like you'd see just a couple of these every once in a while. Maybe like one down here. So now if we look at that, we need to make this texture larger. Yeah, there's a lot of like little things we need to do to make this more convincing. Oh, whoops. We still have collision on, don't we? Oh, and I also scaled it, so it looks kind of stupid. Well, let's see what that falling looks like. You could see the gaps, though. Maybe we do just leave this completely blank. Well, not that completely blank. I meant like this. And then add this in as you're falling. And just that's that. You see that bouncing at the top, though? Why is that happening? I think it's because the camera's moving so fast. Yeah, I don't think it's ever supposed to work that way. Can we change that somehow? Maybe we just scale this back down and just make it take up the full viewport. Man, this is really hard to see. The limits look like they're probably fine. I need, how do I do this? Because I don't know where the real part of my tile map is. Like if I draw over here, it's going to draw something extra. I don't want that to be the case. I guess we just cut this out for now. Yeah. We cut it out for now and make it as big as it needs to cover the whole viewport. Possibly more than the viewport. So we draw something like this. And then we come up with the exact size that's supposed to be. So 672 is my guess. Is that divisible by 16? Yes. And then the other dimension is 384. All right, how's that? This is an interesting task to work on. I don't know what I expect this to be. Yeah, okay, so we're still seeing some weird snapping there. Why is that happening now, though? This is bigger than the viewport, isn't it? Viewport. 640 by 360. Yeah, it's bigger in both directions. Why is this happening? Either make the viewports smaller, scale this. Oh, you know what? Scaling it would actually be totally fine because it's just a blank texture. So we could scale this up infinitely. We could set this to a scale of like 20. And we shouldn't see those seams at all anymore. And as long as you never had in real tiles, it should be okay. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Good. So now no seams. No seams. Just getting darker. All right, that actually looks pretty good already. Nice. All right, let's just add that in. Easy peasy. All right, I'm very glad we figured something out with that because, yeah, that was not straightforward. So I want to add this in when we had the long fall duration here. We just got to make this part convincing, though. I think this is going to be kind of tough to do. Parallax. What did I call it? Parallax falling background. Parallax falling background. Hey, Scottish kid. Do not touch. Oh, do not touch now is working? I mean, it's probably not going to be totally convincing just yet. So we will still need to do something here. Scenes, sub-games, farming. Is the parallax in here? No, farming. What am I talking about? Platformer. Yeah, there it is. Okay, and this is node 2D. So this is parallax falling background. Okay, let's try it. I think this is going to be jarring because it's only going to get added in once you've started falling. Oh, forgot to delete it. So far, everything looks fine. You get to here. Wait a second. Hold on. Yeah, it's fine. You get to here. You fall. Oh, it just deletes everything. And it even deletes your character, though. Why? Oh, because we're adding it above everything. Okay. Move child, parallax, falling background, 0. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try that. I still don't think this is going to be convincing. I got to stop setting this to the wrong thing. There we go. Oh, no, that was pretty good. Wow. I'm surprised. Okay, cool. Effect accomplished. All right, let's try that again. But whoops, I didn't mean to quit. I meant to go to the title screen, but it's just one play button away from getting back there. All right, so if you naturally got there. Oh, is this looking choppy? What was that? It's looking like it's not running at the right frame rate. What's going on? debugger, misc, play. Not misc, somewhere in there. I gotta launch this off screen though. All right. Frame rate is 60. Still 60. 60. Might have looked choppy earlier. All right, how is it as we fall? I can only watch one or the other, so I'm gonna watch the frame rate. Yeah, it's fine. All right, but since I couldn't watch this, now I want to watch this. Let's go play that again. We can just teleport though. Yeah, I like that. I do want there to be some flickering lights. Maybe we do put some reddish lights over here. Although we need another canvas modulate for that, right? Not sure. Because the lights don't have color. Yeah, we need the light to be a little bit more convincing. And then this part's totally messed up because it's got the directional light from the scene before it. So we need to delete that at some point. No, the firefly idea is still one that I like. They don't even really need to be fireflies, I guess. They could just be like floating. Well, they got to have some visibility to them. All right, so there's a directional light that we need deleted. And we need this stuff deleted too. And that's once you land. So canvas modulate, directional light, and I guess the parallax background, we delete all of those things when you get into the office. Which means we got to save these things off here somewhere. Okay, so, well, should it all just be part of a scene then? Do they all get added at the same time? They do. So then we should put the canvas modulate and the directional light into there and then give it a script and everything. I don't want to do that just yet. All right. Well, let's do the cheapo way for now. So private canvas modulate like that. Null. Actually, no, this could be null. Just do that then. Then change this and this. Good. 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 And then the parallax background. This is just a node 2D. Good. Good. Okay. Now we put these up at the top. And then all of these need to get deleted at some point, which is once you get into the office. Q free. Yeah, we could set it to null. I actually don't care about that. The directional light and the parallax falling background. Cool. All right, let's try that. So now when you go into the office, it's going to delete all the lighting effect and the parallax. And that way you won't be able to see what you shouldn't be able to see. So if I go to above the long fall, it's going to go in super fast. Yep. There we go. Now we make it over to the office again. Yeah, that's good. Whew. What a time. Okay, so how do we add in lighting? No, not there. Architect realm. Can you have a color for lights? Oh, yeah, there's a color. Oh, well, would you look at that? So then I could make some of these things be lights. Is there a limit to how many lights you can have in a scene? Godot point light limit. 16 per object? What does object mean? What? cap is per node. Drawing multiple textures from the same node won't help. I mean, I don't think we need 15 lights for this scene. But what happens? Well, oh man, the Firefly idea I do think is cool. I also think attacking them would be cool, and then losing light. There was something in Super Metroid where this happened. Those like light flies, fire flea. Yeah, these. I love this idea. And I mean, it's not my idea, but yeah, this room was very dark and it had these fire fleas in it. And when you destroyed one, the lighting of the entire room dimmed. Okay, maybe just searching by their actual name is bad, and if I search for Firefly, it finds it. Still no, not really. But yeah, here they were. Where's the picture? Yeah. So with the fire fleas alive and with it not alive, you couldn't see very much in the background. I mean, it's not super obvious from this picture. They use forward rendering, so an object can only be affected by 15 lights at any one time. Yeah, and I don't think we need a lot here. It's just I want to set the tone without making it really, really hard to see. So I think what we should do is make these big lights be where there's like this background peeking through. So let's do that. Yeah, like here, here, and maybe another one over here. And then just some other like smaller lights. Maybe we put some here, like this one. We set its scale to much, much, much smaller. We set its color to red. And we set its energy to, yeah, something like that. I don't know. Let's try that. Are there any more of those? Yeah, there's one over here. I don't want all of them to be lit up. Is there any more? I don't think there's another one over here. We could always add it. It kept disappearing. I think in this case, we shouldn't end up with too many lights. Let's just go to, if we go to before office, isn't this going to be incorrectly lit? No. Why is that? Nope. Okay, well, this thing super messes up. Maybe we can't use the cheat anymore. Let me try that again. Before office. We're not falling, right? Yeah. Yeah, why is that off? Did I mess that up? No. Does it look different from this? Yes. Right? Yeah. If I move this to the side, what is happening here? Why does it look like it's illuminating this more than it should be? It definitely is. I don't know if there's scaling happening in the game that's not really happening here. It might be that. It's very hard to tell. Do you have post-processing effects? No. Well, how off is it on the other ones? Oh, that's not good. Okay, maybe we just shouldn't set the energy that high. Actually, any of these red ones. All right, you can't do that. All right, where did I start putting red ones in? Just these three. All right, so let's make a lights node. Node 2D. Lights. Cram all these in there. And then make a node under that. Red lights. And put these under here. Set all of their energy to 1. And that apparently does not take effect on the fly. Mm, mm, eh. I don't know what the problem is exactly. Whoops, I didn't want to change all of those. I'm on that one right now. So if we increase this, yeah, I think I want to make it. Or maybe we could change this. Subtract mix. Yeah, it'll just look washed out. So I think we need a couple of lights there. Like we need one right there and then another one on top of it, but that is white. And that's kind of interesting. And then make it lower energy. I don't really like that. Yeah, I don't like that. That one looks really nice. Yeah, it's kind of subtle. And then maybe there should be a dim light coming from inside the office. Like that. And maybe turn the energy down just a bit. Yeah, that way you can actually see. Okay, let's try it. Let's just play the game. Get to that point. Just see how visible it is or how not visible it is. Oh man, that looks good. Yeah, I like that. This is pretty well lit now, which I think is fine. And I like that when you're in the shadows, like the literal shadows of the world, you're also in the shadows of the lighting that's here. So that's nice. This could probably be slightly better lit. Like this whole room. Actually, I should make this whole room a little bit brighter because the openness in the background is greater than on the other sides. And then this is better lit to indicate this is where you're supposed to go. Yeah, I think that's good. So I think I just want to increase the light level over here on this left side. So let's mute this, turn this back on windowed. All right, so to do the lighting on this side, we just increase the energy like the tiniest bit. Maybe even like that. How's that? That's pretty good. Maybe do something similar over here. That's very cool. Yeah. Very neat. Okay, yeah, I like it. Wow. Well, I did not expect that to be as tough a task as it was. I mean, there was a lot that went into that. And I'm not super happy with how I coded this stuff. The directional light energy is at 0.25. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Wow. It's kind of crazy. Oh, you know what? If the parallax falling background is going to be scaled up by 20x, then we don't need that many tiles. In fact, it doesn't even need to be, it could just be a literal gray rectangle. But everything's working, so yeah, maybe just maybe just leave it. All right, so add spooky lighting to the architect's realm. This was a bit difficult to set up. For one, I wanted the realm to be darker but lit by the occasional, well, lit here and there. Problem is that we can't transition directly from a bright platformer to a dark cave. I added parallax falling background to bridge the gap. It's basically just a gray rectangle that is always in the background. Wait, always in the background? It should only be in the background until you land. I didn't think about that. Although, why didn't I notice a problem with that then? Huh, strange. But yeah, where do you land? Between interval 0.9. Where do you land? Set animation to large fall. Is that going to be bad? I don't know. Yeah. Let's take a look. We might notice a gap right at the very end. So we fall down again. Yeah, there's an obvious gap at the end. So we need to wait a little bit longer to free this. And it's once the camera catches up. Wait. There's an extra space there. Now, this might cause a different problem, which is you might see the background disappear. I don't think you will, though. Because I think this is once it exists, like the architect realm has its own background. So now I think everything should be fine. In which case, it doesn't matter if we free it now or not. I think that was fine. I'm going to pause here for a sec so that I can make sure that we're definitely here, so that when I go look at the VOD, I know we're the right spot. Because I want to go frame by frame here. So this is you landing in the architect's realm. Yeah. Okay. Looks pretty good. All right, so what's the rest of this commit message? It's a bit difficult to set up. For one, I wanted the realm to be darker, but lit here and there. The problem is that we can't transition directly from a bright platform to a dark cave. Add a parallax falling background to bridge the gap. Basically just a gray rectangle that is always in the background that can be affected by the canvas modulate that we add. And directional light 2D that we add, yeah. Once in the architect's realm, the background is deleted. Cool. Cool. All right, I don't know for sure if we're going to do music tomorrow. But we got to fill out the journal for today, so let's go do that. Wow. Well, got to say this week has been pretty productive. So what did I do today? I don't remember anything. Oh, it's a lot of commits for one day. So in general, it's prep for the playtest with lots and lots of small improvements. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Did the Google Sheets icon change? I don't remember it looking like that. Oh, strange. All right, it made lots of small improvements to prep for playtesting. No music Fry third day. It's Fry third day. I know. I'm not sure because we don't have any new sub games, and the only real music stuff I wanted to do was to change the drums in the tracks that we have now. Like I like the music tracks so far, and I don't know if I should get too far ahead of myself. We should probably just do coding tomorrow. I want to be a little bit flexible with the schedule. Suggest a case study for lighting the room. I trust someone named Nightlight to give me a good case study for lighting the room. So yeah, let's take a look at this. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a look at it at some other point. I don't play YouTube videos on my stream, but I do plan on taking a look. They changed the icon in the top left of the site. Oh, they changed this here too. Yeah, wow. I guess there were more lines beforehand because that's what I remember there being. Now it kind of looks like a clock, doesn't it? Did they change docs? They changed docs. Oh no, they did. Wow, look at that. Yeah. They changed all the Google Workspace stuff then. Interesting. It went from being pretty much flat, like yes, there's some rounding here, which changed the color of the blue a bit, but otherwise it's pretty much just two colors, to having this little gradient here. Wait, so what else is there? Google Sheets? Or not Google Sheets, Google Slides? Yeah, here's what this icon looks like now. That one I don't really remember. I don't have slides open a whole lot. And I don't really use any of the other Google things, do I? Unless calendar changed, did it? Whoop, definitely can't open this up on screen. Oh boy. Okay, I don't think they changed calendar. Yeah, let's never do that again. The calendar I can open on screen is this one because I don't use this one. So it's completely blank. Except for holidays. Wait, no, holidays don't even show up anymore. Yeah, it's completely blank. Whoops. Gmail is just the M without the letter behind it now. So here was the old fave icon. And here's the new one. Oh, interesting. The So the new one, is this different? No, I don't think that's different, but I think the Gmail logo got pink at the upper left. I don't remember that being there. Right there. I think it's like a different gradient now. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah. Drive changed. Oh yeah. Yeah, they all got like slight gradients. I don't I don't particularly care one way or the other. The only thing is I thought this had glitched out at first because it looks just different enough from the old one. But yeah, that's fine. Your Gmail doesn't have pink in there? Huh. Well, like I said, today's been very productive. Actually, so have the last couple days too. Tomorrow might not be as productive, but tomorrow's only gonna be a half day as well. Music day typically, but I think it may be better to work on other things. Might still want to look into drums for a bit in the afternoon. Okay. Yeah, things are on track. How long did I stream for today? Oh, longer than I expected to. All right, let's go raid somebody. Let's go raid Tin Bears. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. It'll be a half day. Friday will maybe be a full day. I'm not sure. I think at some point we need to go back to game design. Maybe we'll just do that on Friday. Maybe game design seems like a good opportunity. All right, cheers, everybody. Let's all say hi to Tim Bears. Goodbye.